Although it is difficult to define, essentially, religion is a system of ideas that helps man to make the world intelligible by using supernatural causes to explain the phenomena. These ideas are also prescriptive and prescriptive. What is theology? Theology is the study of the nature of God or divine and religious beliefs. What is philosophy? It is the most general of all disciplines and lays the foundation for the study of all the particular sciences. To put it in simple words, philosophy deals with the fundamental questions concerning existence/reality. To make this huge task possible, the study of existence is organized/divided into various subgroups/branches. The branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of reality is called metaphysics. The study of the means and methods of acquiring knowledge is categorized as epistemology. The practical choices and problems concerning human conduct are addressed under the subdiscipline of ethics. The field of politics studies the principles that a state/government should follow. Why does man need religion, theology, and philosophy? The need for religion, theology, and philosophy spring from the nature of being that man is, i.e., a being possessing a conceptual form of consciousness, unlike animals whose consciousness is perceptual. Being so, he requires a conceptual framework to view the world and deal with it. And this important and necessary task of providing man with a worldview is taken up by religion, theology, and philosophy. Epistemology of religion, faith and revelation. Religion claims knowledge based on faith rather than on reason or evidence or proof. Revelation from God or an incarnation of God is the primary source of knowledge and authority in religion. Epistemology of philosophy, reason and logic. Philosophy employs reason and logic to arrive at knowledge. But it needs to be noted that philosophies can be rational or irrational. That is, there can be philosophies that consider all the relevant facts and integrate them to form a non-contradictory whole, or there can be philosophies that overlook some or all the relevant facts and form a contradictory theory. Faith and truth/falsehood. One of the major alternatives to reason is considered to be faith, but it is not the way the mind works. It may seem like a shortcut to knowledge, but in fact it is very dangerous as it destroys the mind. It is so because when one accepts anything on faith or without proof, then he has no way of defending himself and is prone to attacks from people with opposite views. It need not be that what one takes on faith should be necessarily false. Even if what one takes on faith is true in reality, he would not be able to form a rational conviction of it. Faith and force. Physical force or coercion is a faithful companion of religion. As religious policies are based on faith, there can be no reasonable answer to anyone who asks why a certain practice has to be followed except the answer that it is the will of God. Religion enforces its practices through the use of force. So we can say that faith and force are corollaries, and that wherever there is one, the other is also there. Reason and persuasion. When a person or a group of people adopt the policy of reason, then they deal with one another by means of persuasion, by providing arguments in support of their view. So we can say that reason and persuasion are corollaries. Faith and efficacy. In order to live, every man must feel worthy of living, which comes from the belief that one is competent to live. One can feel competent only when one performs the necessary thinking involved in doing a certain task. But faith is antagonistic to thinking, as it blocks thought and inquiry. When one functions on the level of faith, one can never be efficacious and cannot feel a sense of worthiness that is necessary for living. It is this lack of authentic worthiness that prompts a person of faith to fake a sense of worth by trying to control and rule other men. So such a person substitutes his powerlessness in the face of life by gaining power over others. Religion, politics, and power. Power over other men is an important concern for anyone who functions on the level of faith. The primary motive of such a person is the desire to rule others. Similarly, when we apply this to a group of men, we see that, in the field of politics, religions are extremely interested in power over others through the use of force. Reason and efficacy. A man of reason realizes the fact that thinking is required for living. He derives a sense of worth by performing the necessary thinking involved in doing a certain task. It is this sense of authentic worthiness that prompts a man of reason to feel competence to deal with reality and thereby gaining power over reality. Rationality, politics, and power. A rational person will never initiate physical force on others, although he will use it only in retaliation for self-preservation. The primary motive of such a person is to live efficaciously. Similarly, when we apply this to a group of men, we see that, in the field of politics, rational societies are interested in limiting/restricting the unlimited exercise of power over others through the use of force by forming a constitutional government. Metaphysics of religion. Religion claims that there is a God who is supernatural and that one has to accept it on faith. The concept of God can be a personal one, X, an omnipotent deity who listens and answers prayers, or an impersonal one, X, Brahman. It is to be noted that such claims are not rooted in reason or reality and cannot be proved because, according to the law of logic, one cannot prove a negative. So, proof, which is based on that which exists, is inapplicable to the concept of God. Even the concept of supernatural is not rooted in reason or reality because all that which exists comes under the purview of nature. So, if something is supernatural or non-natural, or beyond nature, then it does not exist in reality. Also, there is no way to infer that which does not exist from that which exists.